I'm Terrence Holt,
And I'm Torrey Holt.
and you're listening to
The NFL Players Second Acts Podcast.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm Peanut Tillman, and this is my guy, Roman Dalmatian. You got these spots, Harper. This is the NFL Player Second Acts Podcast. And, yeah, you like that intro, right? That was a good one.
I did. It's more of a blend. It's not really a Dalmatian.
Right.
My hair's not spotted, but it definitely blends well. But thank you. First of all, let me give a shout out to all of our listeners and followers out there. Give us a rating, 5 stars, please, wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio, wherever you listen. Please continue to tune in, watch, click follow, do all those special things. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Now, Peanut.
Yes, sir.
Who is our guest this morning in this beautiful studio?
We got a good one today. Fresh. He's local. You know, he's out of California. He was the number 5 overall draft pick in the 2009 draft, taken by the Jets.
All right, yes.
Played 10 seasons, 4 different teams. He's one of only 2 quarterbacks in their first 2 years to go to the AFC Championship game. He works for Fox Sports. He calls games now. He's a USC MFN legend.
He is.
Can y'all please welcome in Mark Sanchez, ladies and
Appreciate
gentlemen?
it, fellas. Thank you. Thank you.
I promise you will never get another intro like that ever again. I know you do TV, but that is like one of the, you know,
That was big time. Thank you.
that is a big time.
Did you
feeling
feel that
good now.
energy?
I'm feeling good now.
Did you feel that energy?
I didn't know when I walked in. I was a little worried watching the whole setup.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we just
And then the intro scared me before the whole, the Dalmatian. And then, but we're good now. I'm on.
See,
this is my uncle though, man. Like this is my uncle. This the deacon. You got to think when you first saw this guy, he did not look. So I'm actually
Deacon
older
Hopper.
than him. Yeah, like he looks like he's
Bring
about.
forward
yeah.
the offer and plate.
Yeah,
we're like one of those deep Southern families. We're like,
Yeah.
I'm the uncle that's
Yeah.
younger than
There
the
you go.
nephew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Noted.
saying?
A
Like
little
this is where we're at
backwards.
right now. So,
totally,
yeah.
totally.
but
backwards.
it's all good. It's all acceptable. But Mark, this is my first question. It's very current. All right. You were on Hard Knocks at one point in time. Have you watched
I did.
the Hard Knocks this year?
Yep.
And have you
Yep.
been keeping up with it, knowing that it's the Jets? A lot of people didn't want
Yeah.
the Jets, or Aaron Rodgers didn't want to be on there. And we all kind of have our ways about Hard Knocks
Yeah.
until all of a sudden you're on there. So
It's
give me your opinion on it so far.
It is interesting, and there is a shift, I think, from the lead up to it, and then once you're on it.
Yeah.
I think the lead up is a little scarier and bigger, and these big bad cameras are going to be in there.
Right.
But then when you're actually on it, you're so laser focused, and you guys know this as former players. You're just trying to, you guys are trying to get the ball back. We're trying to score points like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You don't even think about it, and you say the same silly stuff that you normally would. I think.
Are you mic'd up? So it's
most of the time the QBs
everybody's
are
kind of mic'd up. Who's kind of mic'd up?
How
They
many
have
mics
certain-
do?
Or do you know?
But
Because
they'll
like in the
follow
game,
certain players.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like specifically, generally the quarterback.
course.
For this one, it's Garrett Wilson, it's Sauce Gardner, it's Quinnen Williams.
Yep.
They want the superstars, and then they'll throw the mics on some of the guys competing for jobs, and that'll be the kind of feel good story of the guy
Yes.
trying to make the team, and he could be a special teamer, and injuries could happen. All the same drama that they love to unfold that inevitably unfolds in 32 locker rooms around the league. They just capture one of them. But yes, I have been watching only because we were on it before. They do such a great job of, most importantly, just making the players and the stories
Seem-
more of who they are.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people think like, okay, money changes you. No, I think it just makes you more of who you are. If
There's
you were charitable with
1,000%.
$100, you're going to be charitable with $1 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this
Magnified.
show should make you more of who you are. Well, if you're the rah-rah guy, if you're the break down the team guy, you know what I mean? If that's your role on the team,
Mhm.
it's going to be even sexier on this show. Well, if you're not that guy and you try to be that guy,
It's gonna
Yeah.
look bad.
oh, dude, it's like the worst. Like when somebody just tries to break it down and you're just like, ooh, that guy couldn't even motivate me to eat a sandwich. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this is rough, and a free sandwich at that. So I'm happy for Aaron because I've known him for a while.
Mm.
He's been a polarizing character in the NFL soap opera that is every season.
Right.
And now people are starting to get a chance to see him the way he is.
Yes.
As a teammate, behind closed doors, without, when you check all of your own personal political agenda, baggage, all of the stuff at the door, and you can just focus on football and being a good teammate and working hard and trying to win games. I mean, what else do you want? The dude's unbelievable. I went to camp last week. They
You
look
and Aaron
sharp.
Decker were there, right?
Yes, Decker was there. Dude, the kid makes a cameo in Hard Knocks, and Braylon Edwards is just blocking my visual the whole time. I'm like, dude,
I'm
this is
supposed
my
to be.
chance
This is my chance.
to
Yeah.
you know, this was about me. No, it was funny. They were doing the targets, right?
Yeah. Was this
And-
after or during?
This was during practice.
Okay, yeah.
And they're walking over to start scrimmaging with the Buccaneers, and they're doing all these targets. And Zach Wilson might have hit one in like all 30 of the throws from 3 quarterbacks. But in the episode the night before, I'm like, dude, you guys couldn't miss. So what's going on with the editing here? What are we doing? So I gave him a hard time, and then Braylon blocked my visual, and that was it.
Was there ever a moment that caught you off guard when you did the Hard Knocks?
Yes. So
Because y'all did it with Rex, right?
Yes.
Was Rex the
And
head
he's
coach?
already he's like for the camera.
Oh, and he was
Oh,
built for it.
You know what I mean? Like
Built for it.
I think that's so important to talk about as well. As like the
Yeah.
NFL wants to get a
Yes.
team they
What's
want to
the
showcase.
personality though? Like,
Yes.
They want the
it's kind of what
personality.
sells
They
the
want,
show.
Yes, you want
Then
to.
let's go get some F and ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. And that was very Rex, just off
Yeah.
the cuff, and like, you know, as defensive guys, you'll appreciate this. As offensive guys, it kind of freaked me out. But Rex was like, I don't care if we play the game. I don't care if we just fight in the parking lot. Like, we'll just figure it out. And I'm like, well, offense doesn't work like that. Okay, that works for half the team. We'll go study a little bit. You guys go kick everyone's ass. We'll be there to try and score.
Yeah.
But Rex was perfect for it. And I think the guys on it are shining the way they're supposed to. And it really is for the fans. And it gives them such insight on what the players are like. When you make fun of other guys, the rookies have to do their rookie show.
Love
Theirs
it.
was
Love the
terrible,
show.
by
Love
the
it.
way. Their rookie show was terrible.
This year it was terrible.
Yes, twice. I mean, one of the guys went up and did the 8 Mile B Rabbit thing.
Yeah.
And that was fine. But I was, unimpressed. You got to do the coaches meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the standard rookie show is, right? You make fun of all the coaches and maybe throw 1 or 2 players in there. So
They didn't
that's
do
what
all
we
that.
did. I did a whole physio ball under my shirt for Rex because this was before he had the surgery, right?
Right,
And he was
right.
real big. He was always snacking. So I had all these snacks in the top of the physio ball under my thing. I put baby powder in my hair because he was all grayed out,
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we had a great team meeting.
Do people understand like that how much that brings teams together? When you have a good
huge.
rookie show,
If you're not in the
It
locker room,
matters.
you don't understand that.
yeah,
'Cause I've tried to tell that to
It
people.
matters.
It does matter.
it matters.
Most
When you-
great teams, they have great locker rooms.
There is something.
Like-
Okay, you have a great locker room, you have a great rookie show, and you generally have a good chaplain and a good chapel service.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Am I right?
The
the
deacon
best
knows
teams
about
I've been.
that. Yes. Yes, he
The
does.
best
agree.
teams
Amen.
I've
Like,
been on.
talk about your first 2
those
teams. Those first
teams
2 teams
matter.
Right? Their
Our
first 2
chaplain was
seasons, yeah.
solid. Our rookie show was legit. The rookies from the year before would help the guys when they were in
Yes,
the
'cause
second
they
year.
already
Hey,
know.
man, here's kind of what
Yes.
we did. Check this out. Might want to think about this. Here's some idea. You give them a little material just to make it good because you want everybody to enjoy it. The tightest locker rooms are the best teams. When it becomes different than just a job, when you're not clocking in and clocking out,
Right.
when you transcend football and become a family, you guys know. That's when it's like, okay, we have an opportunity at
For
least
sure.
to make a run at this
Yeah.
thing.
I just love that at the rookie show, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but like you got to give effort, right?
Oh, 100%.
and the veterans are going to sign off. Whether you're
Yeah.
a terrible singer, it's all about the effort.
That's right.
Did you put in?
That's
like,
right. Did
you
you even
put-
try?
That's
it's
where
an
you
older
gain the
brother
respect.
thing. It's
It's
an
like-
older brother
Yeah.
thing. Rite of passage thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Rites
all
of
had to do it.
passage.
And so, what kind of effort did
But
you?
there's
give?
always that one rookie that was like, man, I went to
Too
whatever
cool,
school.
too
I'm
cool."
too cool. I'm not jumping up there. I'm not going to sing. Like, it's like, come on, man. That's how you gain the
I'm
respect.
from Too Cool University,
veterans,
man. Nobody
yeah.
pick on me. You're gonna get the worst.
Yeah,
You're gonna
for
get
sure.
it.
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna get it.
we had a couple of guys like that. But yeah, that locker room, that foundation is what I think is what brings you together. Me and you, Carolina. Obviously, we had a great year. Our
Yeah.
good run. We're good teammates.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had some good teammates. I want to kind of switch it. So 2000, God, when was that? I think 2012. I was able to go to the White House.
Mhm.
Did an internship with FEMA, and my I guess my boss for the day or for the week got me in. Went to the White House mess, saw some really cool stuff, Situation Room. Now I know you went back in 2010. And
With the Brickishaw.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I got a T-shirt on, and you thought it was just a dang. You thought it was a steak You got it. You
Look at
thought
this
it was a
photo.
steak dinner.
Bro.
So D Brick,
Yeah,
like, talk to me
that's
about
bad.
what he was your plus
So,
one, right?
How many buttons you got on that jacket?
Yeah, that's
How many buttons?
that's a Steve Harvey.
Chill, man. Chill. That was a different time. We didn't
So-
have the Euro cut back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is you guys at the
So
state
we
dinner.
get invited. This is at the state STAT
Yes.
dinner.
Hillary Clinton state dinner, right?
No, it was Obama.
Obama? Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
And the Mexican president was going to be there.
He's trying. This is a totally different side story. Don't even worry. This is a totally different side story. He's trying to reach. He's reaching. Don't worry about it. That's an inside joke over here. Thomas is laughing back there because he knows this is a reach.
I'm gonna let that one go.
Yeah, he owes us. He's gonna lose a bet off that. He's gonna lose a bet off that.
I tried to sneak it in there.
We
Yeah.
get invited to this state dinner. Barack Obama, the president of Mexico, is going to be there, and they're in the receiving line, the whole deal. Well, I remember getting this invitation and the Jets telling me about it in the PR office, and like, there's a big deal. It's in the off season, but
course.
if you can make it, you know, they got a private plane and all this stuff. I was like, whoa. This is legit. So I called my brother and I said, my oldest brother, Nick, who's an attorney, and I was like, dude, we have a steak dinner at the White House. And he goes, what? I said, a steak dinner. I get to go eat and like hang out at the White House. And he goes, did you just say steak dinner? And I said, yeah, they invited me to a steak dinner. He said, you idiot. And I was like, what? He goes, state, like United States, like State of the Union, STATE. I was like, oh, okay. Well, either way, I'm sure they're going to have
it's
food.
gonna be
like,
great.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
He goes, steak dinner. What are you going to bring? A knife and A1 sauce? God, you're done. You know, he just gave me a hard time. So he informs me on exactly what it is. I invited Brick because I knew he'd be all over that.
Yeah.
He's been on the podcast, right?
Yes. He's awesome.
So you know, diplomatic. He was just so well put together, and I was like, this
He
is the
still is.
perfect like kind of hangout for me and my man Brick. So
Perfect
we go,
plus one.
dude. We're on the plane, and I left my shirt and I left my shirt in the terminal to leave on this private plane, the FBO, right?
How?
Like an idiot. And I have a T-shirt on. I have everything else, and I was like, "Well, I don't want to wrinkle it. I'll put it up. Boom. I'll take the jacket." And I just left it in the stall. So we're in the air, and I tell the airplane pilot, "Hey, we have a problem." The wrong thing to tell the guy, because it was just about clothing, not like there's a problem with the plane. So he went into freak out mode for a second. We had to calm him down. Boom. I said, "Hey, I'm missing a shirt. Whatever." He calls like ground control. They start calling around to men's warehouses or like other places I could go. So we go. Find a place I can get a shirt. I walked into the store. It's a men's warehouse in DC, close to the White House, packed with people because it's freaking prom for high school. So I'm like, I got like $200 in my pocket. Holler at the manager. I'm like, yo, dude, my name's Mark Sanchez. I'm with the Jets. I got to go to the White House right now. It is like an emergency. I left a suit, blah, blah. He's like, you're going to have to get the whole kit and caboodle deal. Whatever.
That's all we got.
So I'm like, all right, I'm trying on this stuff. I ripped one of the jackets.
Fat man in a
Dude,
little coat.
It was horrible. Just to get to
Oh
those
my
pictures
God.
was such an adventure. And Brick was just like, dude, this is my chance to meet Barack Obama. This
Don't
is my
mess this
chance
up.
to
Don't mess
be
this
in the
up.
White House, and you're gonna blow it. So it was an adventure to say the least. But we had a ball, and you know, he loves the Bears, man. Barack loves the Bears.
He does.
I tried to look.
He is a Chicago guy.
He didn't mess around. He said, "Nah, I can't be rooting for the Jets. I'm a Bears guy." I was like, "All right."
So who I heard Beyonce perform
Yes.
at the state dinner. I don't know if she was married to Jay-Z at the time either. Was she? I don't know.
And
I think so.
10, 11?
Yeah,
she
I
was
think
married.
was.
I
I
think so.
apologize. So, but I don't know if they had became like the couple at the time.
No, not
Not-
yet.
not where they're
what
at
they
now.
are now.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
definitely
But
not.
the fact that that concert just happened in like this outdoor tent, I mean, dude, the whole night was surreal. You know, I'm like thinking like, "Ooh, can I take the silverware with me?" I'm like, "Oh my God, then I'm going to be on like the FBI's wanted list." You know, like, you don't know what to do there. You just try and act natural, and I felt like such a square, but
Was this
It was
like
incredible.
the top of the food chain at this point in time in your life? Like, had you
Dude,
done
we-
anything even close to this? And then how do you
not that.
ever like measure up to this again?
Yeah.
I'm still trying, man, and it's been a failing effort. So thanks for reminding me.
I appreciate that.
It was pretty. I mean, that whole time with the Jets, especially the first couple years, were this incredible blur of some failures, but mostly successes, and like that, like almost top of the mountaintop, trying to get to a Super Bowl, meeting people like that, meeting people out in public after games with my family that we've been fans of. whether
Yeah.
it's, freaking Leonardo DiCaprio. You see anybody else, or people when they start to know your name.
Yes.
Or you see somebody and they're like, yo, see Shaq at like a pool party in Vegas. He's like, Sanchez on the mic. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? That's Shaq, dog. Like, we made it, boy. Like, it's just it was a really cool feeling, and that was no different.
So being the overall, the 5th overall pick in the draft was a 2009, being the 5th overall pick, and then going to those 2 AFC championships your first 2 years. Like, what do you think your greatest NFL accomplishment is?
It's a great question.
God, I think those couple of those playoff games on the road were some of my favorite. I remember Thomas Jones almost beating me up.
T. Jones, yes.
He's been on there.
Thomas Q.
He
Thomas Q.
He threatened to kick my ass because I tried to throw like a little one-step slant on the goal line against the Bengals in the first round of the playoffs in the wild card.
I was like a lookie, run call, and you want to do your own thing.
And it would have been just a walk-in touchdown. So we scored on the next play. But he grabbed me by the face mask and he said, with much stronger language, but if you ever do that again, I'm going to kick your ass in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, sir. I was like, let's just hand this off. The San Diego game, we played against the Chargers. Gosh, I'm pretty sure I played for free that game because I bought like 200 plus tickets. And then after the game, Thomas Jones got mad at me again because I got to say hi to all my family members.
And you were the last one.
And Thomas, he can act. He's like, and he's really funny, but he's just quiet and doesn't he's not as outgoing. He's not as, I don't know. He's not as bubbly as a lot of people. He's got this tough exterior. Well, when he wants to joke with you, he's funny. And so I'm holding up the bus. And so
because all your people
are like honking the horn, like, dude, let's go. We got to fly back home. We got a game next week. Like, all right, on to the next, and I'm still like, wow, this is crazy. Thank you, Aunt Linda, saying hello to everybody. And he goes, man, get your rookie ass on the bus. I don't care about all your skater friends from SoCal. Oh, sick game, bro. Just clowned my ass so bad. The whole bus is just laughing at me. So it was, those are great times with those playoff wins.
It's got to be really cool being
Chicago.
a rookie quarterback on that type of team. Big veteran presence, great defensively, all these big personalities, including your coach, and you're kind of the cog that's kind of making it go.
Yep.
What was it like being a rookie in that moment? Also, I listened to a couple of your other podcasts or things you were talking about, and you got vets like Al Faneca didn't even talk to you, right?
Dude. Until the playoffs.
Yeah, you were like, he didn't even talk to me. Like, I don't even know.
Weeks. He just didn't talk to rookies.
And he would talk to somebody else to talk to him.
Yeah. Hey, let's switch up the snap count on da-da-da. Al wants this. I'm like, okay.
We did it. Yeah.
I'm like, he knows I'm here, right?
Ted Washington did the same
did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
It's a vet thing. You gotta earn the respect, whatever that means.
But that's old school vet, though.
Oh,
that's very old school.
You won't see that today. Like
some of that you lose over time, yeah. But,
Ruben did that. Hey, go tell that rookie I want so and so.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Rook. So like you don't see that. I'm not gonna say that's when the NFL was fun, but that was just a different time.
This is a different time.
This is a different time. A different hazing.
Well, I think it's so different also because and you covered college. We're going to dive into that a little bit too. But it's a lot of more players nowadays. We didn't grow up knowing each other.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other. And so when you played a different color jersey, you were just the enemy. That's the only way I knew you was just an enemy. Versus now, everybody's recruited the same. Everybody's shares social media. So, like,
it's easy to reach out to.
Kind of know each other.
They kind of know each other. So it's a little bit different.
It's interesting.
Maybe you had maybe it's kind of like that with all the Southern California quarterbacks that all find their way into the NFL at some point.
I mean, you see each other growing up. You see the lineage when it started with really Marinovich way back, but like Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, and then John David Booty ended up coming in from Louisiana, played 2 years, and then I got to play.
Mm-hmm.
But then Barkley, Cody Kessler, like that Southern California group of guys. And so you look up to all those guys, Darnold, all of them, and it's important. It means something that in your community, in your region, that, you're the guy, and they're comparing you to the guys who've come before you, worn that cardinal and gold. Like, that's a big deal. Running down in the Coliseum, that's a historic spot with, popes and the best in rock and roll and music, Olympics, USC football. Like there's some Super Bowls, like there's some serious heritage and tradition with the Coliseum. So that there was always something like, wow, you're just proud to be a part of it, and I don't want to let anybody down.
Yeah.
You know, there was that feeling like I got a responsibility here.
All right,
Fun fact.
Go ahead.
My wife, Jackie, her grandfather was a USC student body president when he went there.
Let's go.
Back in I don't know
I
what
love
year.
it.
I don't
I
know
like
what
him
year it
already.
was, but he was
I love him.
he's a big time alum. Like goes to every
Let's go,
game.
baby.
When y'all play Notre Dame, y'all
We
go
got a
overseas.
game Saturday. Let's roll. I'll see him there.
He is there. Like when I tell you, spends millions of dollars
I love it.
on USC over the years. He loves USC so much he named his son, his grandson's name's Troy.
Love it.
That's how much he loves USC.
I'm not even mad at that.
That's the only way to live, man.
Hey, I mean, you guys
all
are
in.
Yeah,
All in. That's the only way to go.
That's what it is. So, I'm a guy from small country town. Was never really in the spotlight until really I got to like the league.
Yeah.
I don't know about you in Alabama, but you're a guy, high school spotlight, college spotlight, NFL spotlight, rookie spotlight. Even now, you're kind of somewhat still in it in a way. What has that taught you over the years?
Yeah, I think it's a white hot spotlight, especially when you get somewhere like the Jets. I think your unique upbringing is not exploited, but brought to the forefront, like being a Mexican American, Hispanic American. That's been huge for me, and that kind of support from a very loyal fan base that, I mean, they don't care whether you
Well, you look great,
win
but
or
you look
lose,
different, right? Like that's the thing, right? That's another selling point on Mark Sanchez. It was
I hope so.
going to
I
New
hope so.
York.
I'm
It
getting
was
a little
like
older, but I'm trying. So, you know, it just becomes what you sign up for, and you always remember that, right? And I think one of the biggest lessons is, you know, don't ever complain about the spotlight when that same spotlight has given you or afforded you opportunities that you otherwise wouldn't have, whether it's, you know, eating at specific restaurants or doing these cool experiences or being able to go to the White House or whatever that is. If I was playing for some other team, maybe that doesn't happen if it's not New York, you know, and if you're not the quarterback, maybe that doesn't happen to you in that specific, you know, example. So, you know, you can't complain about it if you get something from it, and do your best to, you know, try and remain humble. And the thing I found that brought me a lot of joy when you're in those scenarios of being the guy or in the spotlight is when you bring your teammates or your family, right? Like you get hooked up for Broadway tickets, and you get to go to the premieres, or you get to go to the premieres of all these cool movies at, you know, in New York City. Well, yeah, I'd love to go, and I understand you only have 2 tickets, but I got to bring at least 2 or 3 of the old linemen and their wives. So if we're coming as a group, but you know, whatever. And they'd always come back and say, yeah, okay, you're all coming. So the guys would walk the red carpet with their wives, and then, you know, on the other end, it gives you a free night out with the boys later on. You know, the wives are happy they got to see a Broadway
1,000%.
show, you know, and then the guys can hang one night. So. But I think it's important to bring the people either that helped you get there along with you, or, you know, the people you're sharing that spotlight with, to make sure you deflect some of it and make sure they get some love too.
I think you've always come off, Mark, as one of those guys. Is like you said, you are in the spotlight. You've been in every large market that's possible. Like
LA,
this is
New
you've grown
York.
up in it. Yeah, this is like what
Dude,
you've
even
done.
when I started bouncing around,
Yeah,
Dallas,
Chicago,
DC, I was like,
DC,
Philly,
like
Philly.
those are all huge markets.
can I just go play
You were
at
just born
Jacksonville?
with it.
Like,
You should have went to Green
this
Bay.
is like
where's all the people?
Where the people at?
and I played, and I'm the only one up here that played in small markets. Like
Yeah.
you played in Chicago, huge market.
That's huge.
But I
huge
didn't have
market.
the spotlight like that.
I
though.
know,
Like,
you weren't the
wasn't- I wasn't the
Oh,
quarterback.
no,
But-
you're pretty big.
With all that being said, though, yeah, because you kind of did a lot for the game, Peanut.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and every time somebody punches a ball out, they
Honest,
mention your name.
Dude, I said it on broadcast already.
And
Like,
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
They mention your name all the time. So the way you handled all that, though, your humility, the ability to be able to, you know, take the spotlight and then push it out on everybody else, I think that's a talent.
thank you.
And a lot of quarterbacks, maybe they don't understand that, or just people in general,
Yeah.
what it's like to be, you know, with all the pressure that comes with
Mhm.
being the quarterback, the responsibility as well.
Oh, it's it's a lot of pressure, but that's, once again, like, you sign up from that, or for that, from the jump, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. And looking back, it's like, what would I change? What would I try and do different? How have I grown from all this stuff? I think one of the biggest things is I just didn't really face true adversity publicly like that until I got to the NFL, right? Because I'm getting good grades in school. I'm homecoming king. I got a scholarship to USC. I'm going to be the quarterback at SC. I play at SC. We win the Rose Bowl. I'm an MVP. Boom. Now you're in the NFL, and it's just like, oh man, this is just awesome.
Yeah.
Well, go win 8 games and miss the playoffs in New York, and then you're like, whoa, this isn't the real world. Wow.
Yeah.
What happened? Where did everybody go? What happened to all the fun stuff?
Yeah.
Nobody's smiling anymore. People are pissed, and you learn a lot about life and people and a little bit of adversity, and then you have to adjust. Okay, well, now what? And so those are, now that I'm a dad, I got a boy who's going to be 7. Those are like valuable lessons that I'm trying to impart on him about, dude, you're going to have so many advantages growing up, know? And we used to say this in travel basketball, but my dad's like, we're thinking about adding this kid to the team, but he's a 3-car garage kid. Meaning, like, is he really going to grind? Is he going to scrap for a loose ball? Is he going to dive? Is he like, does he get a cramp and come out? Like, and it was a thing. And so that is, now that I know some of the drawbacks of all those things going your way from the jump and becoming this star in New York or whatever. Well, okay, what are my fears for the next one coming up, right? Like for my son, I'm like, oh shoot, dude, we wake up and we're looking at the ocean. Come on, dog, this is bad. We need to go get an apartment like somewhere else.
How's he gonna grind?
Yeah, like how do I teach him like this stuff doesn't just happen? Like me and grandpa and your uncles were outside all the time, throwing the football, fielding ground balls, shooting layups. I mean, we went to Chargers camp the other day. I almost had this crazy flashback because I remember at Costa Mesa High School where they did their joint practice or whatever at Jack Hammett, whatever. Well, that gym there, dude, I almost had like a full-on flashback because I remember my dad was gone. He was doing something as a firefighter. My brother took me to that basketball tournament in that gym in the parking lot next to where they were practicing. So I see the Mustangs on the wall, whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I remember this place. Dude, my brother kept me after the game because I missed 2 breakaway layups in our game and we lost by like a point or something. Dude, we went up and down the court and he would just launch the ball all the way down so I could run by myself after the gym had cleared out for like 2 hours. I must have shot 300 freaking breakaway layups and I was gassed. But it was like just a reminder of like, dang,
the grind.
That's where it is. That's where it really starts. That's who you really are if you commit to it. And then the rest, you do your best.
All right, tell me about this. All right, so number 1, when did you know it was time to retire? And number 2, let's talk about that transition afterwards. You really didn't take any time off.
Yeah.
You went straight into doing TV.
Yep.
And now you're doing the broadcasting. And let's kind of dive into that because we worked with some of the same people. On the broadcasting side.
So I think after Washington, it was pretty hectic. Things were getting hectic at home. My son and my son's mom and I co-parent him. So if I'm going to be gone, most of the year, like when am I going to see him? What does this next chapter of life look like? And it was just the right time. It's like, am I going to try and grind this out one more year with all this other stuff on my mind? Like I'm doing a disservice to the team I'm trying to make and maybe to myself. Let's roll. Let's pack up and figure this thing out. This next chapter, I got a lot of stuff to.
So you were ready.
I was ready. I knew I was really going to miss it, but I was ready. And I think at any point I was really going to miss it. So I don't think anything would have changed there. And then it was like, okay, now what? I can't just be, in my opinion, I didn't feel comfortable with nothing to do for my son to see. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want him to see
at that time.
He was like 3 years old.
Okay.
But I didn't want him to see, my dad used to play football. He made a bunch of money and now we just kind of hang out. Like I don't know. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is totally fine.
It's just not what
I just
you
was like,
it's not you.
I mean, maybe I don't have to put on a suit and tie every day, but I'd like to be doing something.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like him see me going to work, whether it was consulting or real estate or something.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really be coaching, although I'd love to coach. I was like, that's just going to go way too far. And I know, like, I'll go full send on coaching and then
never see him.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I might as well try and play again. Those are two of the same things. So I was like, all right, let's try this broadcasting boot camp. Tracy Perlman, Jerry Madelon, a lot of people helped get that set up. And that was really eye-opening for me on what some opportunities could be. And so we go through the broadcasting boot camp, which I highly encourage players. I wish I had done it my 3rd year in the league.
Me
Like that really breaks my heart that I didn't do that. And I hope the players, if you have any interest in any of those boot camps, like public service announcement, I highly recommend going to one of those. It's free. They hook up your travel. You learn so much. You meet all the people you're going to meet anyway
Right.
that are important to know for your next endeavor if you choose that forum. So important. But they basically tape everything that you do there. They send out all your, essentially, like your demos. And then we got calls from ESPN. I had to go audition for them. And ABC jumped in that role with Jonathan Vilma. The last time I had talked to Jonathan Vilma was my rookie year. We played you guys game 4 in New Orleans. I get picked off by
Sharp house.
Sharp's going.
We literally he
then-
talked about that before
well,
you, and he's
I'm
like, "Yeah, my
going
boy Sharp
house
big
call.
section to the house."
Well, it gets better because he got the
Oh,
penalty.
dude, it's
How did you
and
get
fine.
the penalty?
So Sharp's too far ahead, or he's behind me, and I'm trying to like create a pile. You're taught just create a pile, right? So I kind of just dive near Vilma.
He chopped Vilma.
In hindsight, it's a little too violent. It should have been more of like a tuck and roll, and it was a little more like direct at him.
Vilma goes sideline. He
And
goes
so
sideline.
Vilma, he's horizontal, he's pissed, whatever. And then I get fined. And then the next time I talk to him was to call him and tell him, hey, I got the job. I'm sitting next to you on the desk at college football on ABC. So I was like, bro, I'm sorry. Should we just talk about this now? He's like, hell yeah, we're going to talk about it now. So Vilma, I thought he was going to whoop my ass the first day in the studio. He didn't, thankfully. And he's been a great dude to me and just helped me a ton with, just like in football, like you look at the older guys on the team, the vets on the team, they're like your big brothers. It's the same thing in television, media, whatever. Like Kevin Nagandi and Jonathan Vilma
Kevin
were.
Nagandi. I
Kevin
like saying
Nagandi.
Nagandi. I love
guy.
saying
He's
that's
awesome.
That's
He,
a dope name.
So by the end of my time there at SC or at SportsCenter or ESPN for 2 years, I was staying in Nagandi's house in the basement, and we
Okay.
wake up. His kids are like crazy Philly fans, just like him.
Mhm.
So all they wanted to talk about is Brent Selleck, Zach Ertz, LaShawn McCoy. Tell me about playing with this guy. Tell me about playing with this guy.
That's
So
cool.
we'd be playing like knee football and knee basketball in the basement with his little kids,
Yeah.
and that's how close we became. Same thing we mentioned with football. When a broadcast or a crew becomes more than just a job, and it's
Yeah.
like your family. We had some great shows with those guys.
Oh, I'm
and
It
sure.
shows on TV.
could
And look,
see it.
I leaned on Vilma so much when I was first starting to
awesome,
get
man.
into it. He's honest. He's
Mhm.
brutally honest about it
Yes.
sometimes.
Yeah.
He's not that nice of a person. He's a great guy, but
But you want his opinion.
you want his
respect
opinion
it.
'cause
yeah.
you
A
respect
lot of
it.
people will say, yeah, you're doing great. You're
right.
doing great.
And you don't get honest feedback.
JB will
But that's
tell
the
you.
difference
in
between
TV
us,
at
though.
times.
But that's the difference between you or us as athletes or
Yeah.
professionals. When you make it to the highest level,
You're
run-
expecting critique.
You
Yes.
want criticism,
Yeah.
and I think that's what makes us who we are as people, right?
Agreed.
When you go
100% agreed.
into the real world in a regular job, you want people just
Yeah.
to tell you how good you are, like
Right.
a yes man or yes
Oh, yeah.
woman or whatever. Like it just doesn't make
Like, whoa, dude, you can't say that.
yeah, it's just like
What? We
why
got to get
not?
better
Like,
here. What do you
exactly.
mean?
That's all-
I'm
I'm a
trying to
pl-
grow.
I'm a plus minus guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm everything in my life.
Did I
Just
do-
plus
was it
minus
good
me
or
and I
bad?
can move on.
Yeah, for
Everything
sure,
I
for
want
sure.
is just plus minus.
So
I'm good.
I guess I try to do the boot camp. I tried it twice, and they was like, nah, fool, we not taking your application. I don't know if my
Oh, man. That's why he was
if
looking
I
at me all
wrote
sideways
wrong-
when I was giving my answer.
I was just
dang.
like, yeah.
I did the broadcast boot camp. I thought it was
Thumbs
awesome.
up, plus?
Big thumbs up. Two
I
thumbs
tried
up.
it twice, and they were
Minus.
like, no. And maybe I didn't beg enough because you said the little
I did.
the
I begged.
application letter you
My
submitted.
application was late, and then I just wrote like a really nice little personal thing at the end. They let me in, last one in, and they said it was full. Then I wrote
Worked
another
out.
follow back email, and it worked out anyways. And then next you know, I'm doing what I'm doing now. And it's funny though, Mark, because you went right into it.
Yeah,
Peanut went right
I went
into
right into it. Yeah,
me. I took a whole year off. I
Yeah.
took 365 days and said I'm not going to do anything. I
Yeah.
want to just really decompress, and then
I
figure
wanted
out
to, trust me.
what I want to do. My situation was different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
you got your job pretty quick though, right? They offered you like right away.
well, I did have to go interview or audition
Yes.
Yeah.
at ESPN, but that's kind of why it happened so fast, right? Because of the demos that went out from boot camp.
Correct.
It was like, okay, you have a couple different options here. You can do USC radio, you can do blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, shoot. Okay, we're starting like this fall then. This is real.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
And I don't
go.
think everybody understands.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, you're good, you get to get hired. Like, you can be good and not get hired
Oh,
because
100%.
it's all about
100%.
hiring cycles.
It's timing. It's
Yeah.
what
just
what
like
name?
playing. Just
what
like playing.
Tom Brady. Oh, we're
Yeah.
signing him.
And
It's-
and those names, those on-field accolades will 100% get you in the door.
Yes.
But if you don't study
Yep.
and you're not keeping current with the game, if you're not talking to coaches and players and all that, and fine-tuning your skills, you get passed by, right?
Oh,
like
yes.
the
For
next
sure, yeah.
new sexy guy who's, hey man, this guy's, see ya.
when I
And so-
retired, I literally did the same. Literally, it happened just like you had a media agent with CAA, and I'm thinking about it maybe, and then I retired, and then I was here interviewing for Fox Sports. And then
Yeah.
I did the interview and was like, oh, okay.
I guess
Then-
I'm doing this.
And then 2 weeks later, it was like, yeah, they want you. They want you to do it. And I was just
No
like,
choice. You're like,
oh,
okay.
damn. Okay. And that was how I got into
Yeah.
to doing the,
But at that point, you can't be like, all right, give me 1 year.
No, you
know,
can't.
yeah, mine was just kind of like.
Unless you're Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Then you be like,
unless
give me
you're
1
Tom
year.
Brady. Unless
He's
you're Tom
totally
Brady.
different than everybody else out
That's
there.
true.
We
Them
all
six
know
ring,
that.
was it 6 rings?
I don't know. They got him out here in the walls in
there's
this
a lot.
NFL studios. Have you
Yeah,
seen Tom
there's-
Brady on the wall?
He looks like a Game of Thrones. Like he has like a
Yeah.
slash Iron Man.
I didn't see it.
He was in Tampa Bay, though. That's my only thing. I mean,
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Like,
he won a
well,
Super Bowl in
yeah.
Tampa? What's wrong with
It's
that?
the most. It's recency bias.
Yeah.
What have you done for me lately?
I am with that. I can respect that. I can respect that. I just was thrown off. I was listening to you talk about Kevin Nagandi too, and maybe you give everybody else some advice that want to get into the broadcasting or the analyst work. And you said the thing that really helped you with Nagandi, how he just took you under his wing, was that he's like, look, don't focus on anything else.
Yeah.
You just deliver what you know, the knowledge that you know, being a quarterback, the eyes in which you see the football game, the game through is what we want to
Yeah.
see, and be able to break that down for people. It's like, I'm just going to ask you football questions.
Exactly.
And you just give
Give
me
me
football,
football
answers.
answers.
That's it.
Yeah.
And like, just
it
stay in that
simple.
So
lane
funny.
and you will shine in this business.
And it's so true. And then along the way, you're going to learn different skills, and they seem kind of silly, but like, how long is a 30-second answer?
I agree.
I heard you
How
talk about
long is
that,
a
yeah.
minute? How long's a minute and a half? How long's a 5-minute debate with 4 panelists, 3 panelists? Like, so until you're in those situations,
Mhm.
you're not going to know. But the biggest thing to try and understand early is like this economy of words. How can you say, without talking over people?
Yep.
And if you drop a little terminology, be ready to explain it
Mhm.
quickly. Like, how can you get your message across and articulate your point? And Kevin was so good with that, because during the breaks, sometimes we'd be doing rap shows. So basically, we're talking over highlights.
Yep.
And I could see like, whoa, the left tackle's way out, or bam, that running back has to block that guy or whatever. He goes, great, I'm coming to you. You good with this? Vilma, you good with this one? Bam. And so he would set us up
Yeah.
like a point guard all the time with like just a nasty pass. Boom, we're in exactly
you
what he
didn't
wants.
miss the layup.
Yeah,
you
and
could
not
not miss
this
the
time,
layup.
not
Yeah,
this
not this time. Your brother helped you out. Your brother helped you out.
Exactly. So he was great. But I mean, the sooner you get those reps, and that's really what it
You
comes
said that
down
earlier.
to.
Just getting the reps.
Whether it's
Well,
football,
that's what you
at the
learn at
local. At the
basketball,
local.
Well, that's what you learn at broadcast boot
it's
camp.
Yeah.
reps, dude.
It's like, that's what you learn.
It's reps.
So I want to hear. Just give me a quick 30-second
Oh.
story
Okay.
on something you did at the broadcast boot camp where you just trashed, or not. Have you ever just fell flat on your face live TV?
Yeah. I mean,
I
Give
have
me one of them stories.
as
in
a
30
player,
seconds.
or
Not as a player,
Okay.
as an analyst.
Been there. Let's see. As an analyst, golly.
Or just something you were just like, man, that's live TV. I totally messed that up.
Um,
Because I've been there.
a million.
National
I mean,
TV. Oh my God.
a million times where you just kind of blank. I've watched my prior broadcast before, and you're kind of like, your point just kind of is like dangling thing, and I'm like, who are you talking to? And sometimes I find myself saying stuff like that I hear my dad saying to me, like we're watching in warm-ups or something like that. And I'm glad it didn't make the broadcast, but like, you see guys throwing the ball and it's like routes on air. They're basically playing catch, and you see them like drop 3 in a row or miss 3 in a row. You're just like, what do we call this game? Catch or chase? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, you know. And so I'll say stuff like that, or you know, my dad.
You didn't even know you were listening to.
Yeah, I know, and I just it was so weird. But he would say, you know, he dropped him like a bad habit, or he dropped him like a bad transmission, or you know, he would just have these weird sayings. And I've said them on air before, and I immediately like hit the talkback button to mute myself, and I'm like, you idiot. And my producer's like, I love it. You sound like you're 70 years old. I'm like, great, thanks. I'm trying to remember. I talked about Kirk Cousins one time. And similar to Aaron Rodgers, I think this quarterback show that he's been on has really helped his brand.
Oh, the
people
Netflix one?
Yeah, because everybody thinks he's beyond boring.
Yes, and he's not. He's like pretty funny and interesting dude, but he's super nerdy.
Yes.
He owns his
So
nerdiness.
nerdy.
Yeah, but
it's him.
But it's him.
It's him.
And then on the field, he's like a stone cold killer dog. Like he wants to win just like everybody else, if
Right.
not more. Well, I made a comment because he got all out pressure. They had a little tight end shallow cross, and he flips it across his body all the way to the opposite sideline, gets his completion, first down, crucial first down, and they end up kicking a field goal to win against Seattle a couple years ago in Minnesota. One of my games for Minnesota on Fox. Well, I said, listen, say what you want about Kirk Cousins. He might call his pants trousers. He might wear those said trousers up to his navel. I don't care. He's a stone cold killer, and those are the kind of third down plays against pressure in the red zone you have to execute if you're going to fillet a defense, and that's what he just did. And that was like one of my favorite things.
That hits.
That's the best call ever.
I love that.
That's
But
your
they're
best
like, yo,
call
dude,
right there.
you got to be cool with Kirk. Like, you can't paint him out to be a nerd. I'm like, guys,
He is.
like,
He is a nerd.
He is.
How you like that?
It's funny.
You like that,
I
don't
love
you?
it.
Because like players recognize it, right?
Oh,
Players
100%.
we know.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with like Russell Wilson. You never hear anybody say how great and how cool he is. He's a great player.
Great player.
He's so
But
corny.
he's
He's corny.
He comes
corny.
across to every other player. We're like, dude.
But he's that guy.
He's that guy.
He is
and
that.
it's okay
he's that
if you
guy,
own
yeah.
it. Like everybody's
owns
cool.
it.
That's the best thing about the locker room is like nobody really wants you to be anybody but yourself.
No.
Oh, yeah.
But be yourself.
And it's open game.
Yeah.
Fair.
Everything's
even.
fair. Yeah, it's like
Everything
we're good.
is fair.
Yeah.
Everything. I was going to tell some stories, but I think we'll do that off
Family show.
Yeah, I was like
Smart.
everything's. Yeah, I won't stop crying.
You know I cry as soon as I laugh. That
Every-
means we're having a good podcast. I'm laughing.
Every time.
What's what?
Every
Yeah,
time.
no, I cry. Like whenever I
Deacon,
laugh,
the
it's whole
deacon
thing.
cries.
It's the
Yeah.
whole-
Chopping onions over here.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a thing.
So this is our second year doing the show.
I think we're heading like we're rolling into
Ascending into our second year.
Yes.
And our goal is to get this thing, be national.
I love it.
We trying to kill it right now. We're trying to, wear our trousers up to our navels or whatever.
Really focused.
And we're just super laser focused. You being in the broadcast business,
Mhm.
what are some of your goals as a broadcaster?
Oh,
like, how
man.
far are you trying to go? Where are you trying to take this? You trying to get Emmys, Tonys?
Listen, I think that stuff would happen on its own.
Yeah.
I think these first 2 years have been a great foundation for me. There's a third year, contract year, so contract year.
Yeah,
Fox,
yeah.
There we go.
Let them know.
So, I feel like I'm really coming into my own. I feel like my first year, I felt like I was treading water a little bit, like any rookie at anything, right?
Mhm.
And the next year, which was this past year, once Kevin Kugler and I, my partner, and Laura Oakman, who both of them I love to death, we were in London and we call this awesome game the first round, and we get to stay for like 16 days in London and do the second game because Fox took those games last year. Both really good games. One of them was the Saints, and we finally like clicked.
Yeah.
Me and Kev, at least I felt it totally click. And Kev was a little tight before because this was going to be the biggest broadcast he'd ever been on. I was definitely nervous, but I've also walked out on the field in the Coliseum, in the Rose Bowl, and AFC Championship game. I'm like, dude,
Spotlight.
I'm scared, but this is gonna be awesome because somebody's getting their ass kicked and it ain't me. Let's roll. You just get into that mode of whatever, right? And so I start massaging Kevin's shoulders like I'm his cut man in boxing. I'm like, let's go, champ. We ready, champ? We gonna feed it to him today, baby. Let's go. And I'm just messing with him and trying to loosen him up. And he has this awesome call. And after the game, I just gave him a huge hug. I'm like, dude, you freaking nailed it. You freaking nailed it. I knew you were super nervous, but you nailed this, dog. We got this. Like, let's roll. We're not looking back anymore. We've kind of hit our stride here. Let's go. And so ever since then, which was about October of the last season, I felt like we're on this great trajectory together. Now, after this year, who knows what's going to happen, but it just feels like, hey, let's just keep stacking them. Just keep adding another one to the can. As soon as we put it in the can after the game, I want a fist bump. We do our quick wrap up, and then, like, boom, let's get on to the next week. Let's do it again. I want to be, get better each time. Tell me when I'm off. I'll tell you when you're off. And so we have such a good rapport now. It's like, let's see how far we can take it. I'll go as long as they can. As long as they'll let me hang around, I'm ready.
I love that. I love that attitude. The podcast that you do with Nick Mangold, I love it. First of all, the name, I'm sold. The exchange.
The name's important.
Who came up with the name?
Yeah, I think that
wasn't me. That was somebody at the Jets. I think it was Matt Sitkoff.
Okay.
Beautiful done.
Yeah.
It's the most important element of the game that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
The center to quarterback exchange.
I mean, it starts the whole play. Nothing happens till the quarterback says go, and the center's got to give a great snap.
Doesn't his sister play center?
No.
Did his sister play center?
No, she's a weightlifter.
Or
She's
weightlifter?
like, she's Olympian.
I was something like that. It was
Yeah,
something like
she's
that.
an
I didn't know
Olympian
she was like sport. I knew she played sports.
Yeah,
She's strong as hell.
Yeah. It's all right, man. Just throw it out there, bro. It's all right. It may be the stick. It's all right.
Wrong
It's the same
segue.
thing with the Hillary. The same thing with the Hillary comment earlier. It's just like, dude,
I'm
just throw it out
trying.
there. Just
I'm
throw it out
trying
there.
with the state dinner.
Yeah.
Now starting.
It's like
Peanut Tillman.
throw it out there. Just whatever.
Hey, I tried.
Has that element upped your game in other parts
Yeah, I think
of your game? Like, what is a podcast? How does that help elevate your game?
it's interesting. So you have so much time to really expand and tell these stories on podcasts, and that's one of the things you learn at Broadcasting Boot Camp. But stories sell. People want to hear the stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going up to do Geno Smith his first game.
Well, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
How about his
Rams
career?
at
Man.
Geno? But it's like, okay, Geno was the comeback player of the year. Okay, why? Tell me why. Everybody's going to say he's the comeback player of the year, but why? So that's been like my off-season project a little bit as soon as we got this game is, okay, I need to go find some specific plays of why and where I've seen him improve, whatever. Well, with Nick on that show, that's what it becomes. You try and like fine-tune your skills for that forum. And one of the other, we're giving away all the Broadcasting Boot Camp secrets, but understanding the forum. Who's the audience?
Yes.
Where are you? What's the setting? Like, who are you with? And then who's watching? Who's listening? Are they watching at all? You know what I mean? And so those kind of things help me stay sharp for when I do studio with Fox or call a game, because that's very, very different. When you go do Speak for Yourself or Speak now at Fox with Emmanuel Acho, that's different than sitting down with Colin Cowherd.
1,000%.
And just a totally different show, a totally different audience. And so you got to be ready to go. Like, I've never been as nervous as I am walking up to the Speak set because Marcellus, Joy, Acho. Like,
Acho's bringing some heat.
Yeah.
Dog. So you got to be like, I need a couple extra, like, on my belt loop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need a couple extra points just in case I get in a back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, for Colin Cowherd, it's, okay, tell me a great story about this. Tell me your experience about this. How can you relate to that player that I'm asking you about? Whatever. With Mangold, we're just hanging, talking to these people that love the Jets. And so, okay, this is a little more softball than a lot of stuff. We're not breaking news.
Right.
We're not trying to get gotcha on the podcast. Like, you said it on ours and we got all the news now. That's not really our vibe there, So I think a lot of it's being able to be versatile. Once again, Nagandi, he does Little League World Series. He does Sports Center. He does Saturday college football. He, hosts different shows for them, award shows, all that. He can do it all. Like, I want to be able to do
it all,
a lot for, whatever company wants to hire me. And it just gives you more opportunities, the more you can do.
No, I love that. And all right, so now to the fun stuff.
Questions.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Number one, what was the most outrageous purchase you had when you got to the league? And don't tell me about, bought my mama a house. I don't want to hear about it. Give me something.
That is true.
Give me
This is
something.
funny. Okay, remember, this is why my wife now hates when I buy stuff on Instagram, because I'm a complete sucker for those stupid ads that come up on
They
Instagram.
pop up a lot more now, too.
Me
Coach,
too.
I'm
In the
all
moment
over
you
Your
click
phone
on
hears
one.
you.
Oh, dude, I'm all over them. So before that, for this younger generation, there was a thing called Sky Mall. Remember Sky Mall on the planes when you'd fly?
Yeah. Those are the
Oh,
magazines.
yeah.
Yeah, the
And they had stuff crap from the Sharper
Image,
They
yeah,
had stuff from you name it. They had it all, right? So I finally had a little bit of money, and I had seen these damn magazines forever since I was a little kid and stuff. And I was just like, that would be so cool to one day just like, if I ever made money, just go through Sky Mall and just start circling everything I wanted to get. Coach, I got Harry Potter wands. I lived on a golf course. I got like a 6-foot Bigfoot statue.
I remember the Bigfoot statue.
I bought one and put it out on the golf course just to mess with the golfers, like kind of hiding behind a tree. Never picked it up. Just left it. See if anybody got scared. There was remember Gollum from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's one of him crawling out of the ground that looked like it was a statue. It was like this big. Got that. Remember the cryptex?
From the
Angels and Demons or whatever.
Yeah. Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
That thing? Got one of those.
I remember that.
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean,
He's so lost right now.
Yeah, clearly you two are reading the Sky Mall.
I'm
Clearly.
I got a Harry Potter wand, and it was like $850. The worst thing I've ever bought. It was a stick that said like Harry Potter on it. I'm like, I could have made this. But regardless, I just was so excited.
Big kid.
Yeah,
Just
like a big kid, and
kid.
just bought some really dumb stuff.
Well, I'm excited about that you paid $800 because I bought my kids those same wands at like Universal Studios last summer for like $85, and I was mad then.
Well, this was, and mine doesn't work. Just
And this was like makes
none of them work.
Well, theirs at least makes noise.
Did you have?
And
Did
if
you
you're
give
in
them
the
to your
park,
son
it can
or
do some
anything, or you
stuff.
just
no.
bought
This was in 2009. This is my rookie year.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
just-
I'm like, oh, this
You're
is
just living the dream.
Need one
You
of
didn't
those.
give me
Oh,
one,
I
kid?
need one of those.
Yeah.
Dumb stuff. Just dumb stuff.
So my rookie, I had my NFL rookie
embarrassing.
moment, where Ted Washington put me in this cart, made me drive around, made me make all these sounds, and at the end, he finally picks it up and he throws it with me in it. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. Give me your welcome to the NFL.
Ooh,
What was your welcome to the NFL moment?
So, well, my first practice with Bart Scott, I mean, he was leaning over the center, like over Nick. And so immediately I was like, is there no offsides anymore? What are we doing here? And so he's just screaming, you Richie Valens, La Bamba looking, hey, Nacho, I'm going to call you Nacho. And I can't even like say the snap. Because
The La Bamba's pretty good.
La Bamba's nice, though.
Pretty good.
Not my Richie.
It's pretty
Not
good.
my Richie.
And everybody was just like crying, laughing. I'm trying to get the first snap, and hand off like lead zone week, like day one install type stuff. And we could barely get that off the ground. The very first time I got in the stadium against the Rams at the old Giants Stadium, we played our preseason game, and I come in, and as soon as I said "set hut," my mouthpiece falls out of my mouth. Freaking defensive guys are like, "What an idiot!" So that was embarrassing. And then I think one of the worst ones was it was my second year. I got these for Mike Pettin and Rex in the defensive room. I put a bunch of stink bombs everywhere and crushed them in their room right before a meeting. And dude, they were pissed. So pissed that they got the keys to my car when we were out at practice, undid the sunroof, and had this guy show up at the facility and flooded my entire car. They filled the entire car with packing peanuts. And then closed it. So when I opened the doors, just flooded with peanuts. So yeah, that was a good little welcome to the NFL and don't mess with the defensive room kind of deal. So
I just love the creativity of the hazing and the get backs.
Yeah.
And the unlimited amount of money we're willing to spend to get you back. Like there is no end.
The
we will
alligator.
spend thousands of dollars to prove a point.
You remember the alligator?
Yeah.
You got an alligator?
He got Ron Rivera with an alligator. It was
that's
bad.
a whole
in his
different
personal
story.
shower. Like Peanut was up at like 5 a.m.
That's a
to
whole
pull off a
different
prank.
story.
This is
It's so worth it.
It is so worth it. Yeah.
big old fake alligator, like a 5-foot alligator. Just
Yeah.
looks very real too.
Oh, it was
he
awesome.
scared everybody for a whole day and a half.
It was awesome.
Um,
It was great.
All right, you talk about your welcome to the NFL. How about your welcome to marriage
Ooh.
moment?
Yeah.
What was like? And do you have any advice? Because we all stink at it over here. So
Like I'm an expert. I'm like 3 months in. Dude.
yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
got nothing.
It's you're not gonna get any better than where you're at right
No,
now.
I think
Just being honest.
Perry planned
like your
an
honesty.
incredible wedding. And my thing was like I was just happy she invited me.
Yeah.
Like it
The
was
video looked great. I saw it.
perfect. She
Good colors.
she nailed all that, and she picked out like 99% of it. Occasionally I'd get to input a little bit, give a little input, but she dialed it all in, and I'm so lucky to have somebody who balances me out, right? Because I can go like hard charger, no feelings, just like I got to get this done. Like, let's go. We want to be the best broadcast team, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just such a good balance of like, hey, let's take a step back, relax a minute. The world's not over today. Like, let's just hang in there, just give a little time to the fam. Let's, you know, do some other stuff. Get your mind off of that for a second, and then you'll be refreshed, ready to roll. So she's perfect balance for me, and we had so much fun. So much fun at the wedding. Honeymoon, we went to safari in Africa, which was incredible, dude. I highly recommend if you guys haven't gone. But I've never seen like nature like that. It's like
what
watching.
country in Africa?
We went Kenya and Tanzania.
Okay.
And so we saw the great migration of the wildebeest. 2
Mm.
million wildebeest in every direction that you can see
That's awesome.
through binoculars and in front of your face, like
It's like crazy.
25 feet. They're right next
Yeah.
to you, and they just go nonstop. And they're moving through the camp, and it was incredible, man. Watching these lions hunt, and
Mm.
it was. You see giraffes nursing baby lion cubs nursing. Like, it
Yeah.
was beautiful, man. It was really cool, and that was once again her. She planned it all with this incredible travel planner. So we had a
Now,
good time.
What
Home
were the
run.
mosquitoes like? No mosquitoes.
They weren't bad. Not as bad.
That
Not
was-
as bad
I
as
see you
here.
gotta
That
sleep
is
with
a
the net.
question I
No.
never would have thought of.
No, you
What
know
about
what?
the mosquito?
Are they on you like that? Because they're usually on her too. They attack certain people. I think it's the thing. It's either a blood type or like your temperature. It's something.
They like black people, I guess. I don't know.
Dude, I get ate up, dog.
See, I'm not terrible. My wife is. She gets it so bad, but. They have all the plays out there. Nobody has off or like any of the stuff we sell here in the U.S. You know, they have like the regular stuff that's in plants, you know, and they'll like strip down some plants
and
you
then
know,
rub it on you.
and rub it on you. They got
I
the
love that, though.
peppermint, like
Yeah.
natural vanilla this or whatever. And it was like, oh, you don't need all that other stuff,
We don't even need it.
Yeah,
No,
it's a
dude.
waste of money.
dude.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it
I
was
didn't even
it
know
was
that.
it was really cool to see that.
That's
You
dope.
you literally see the mosquitoes come near, and it's like the natural stuff, and they're just make a U-turn, gone. It was really cool.
That's cool. So, Mount Rushmore, 4 people.
Okay.
What is your personal Mount Rushmore of people that have had success in childhood, high school,
Ooh.
college, NFL, just out your entire
Oh,
life?
man. Good Lord. I mean, sheesh. Pop's got to be on there. I mean, there's 4 places, which is perfect because I have 2 brothers, my dad and my mom. That's a no-brainer. I think, man, like mentors and stuff. Coach Carroll's got to be on there. I think Bob Johnson, my high school coach, has got to be on there. Oh man, this is a hard one.
Yeah.
When it comes to just straight up football, I mean, whether it's Aaron or Tom Brady, man, I think ability throwing the ball wise, it's got to be Aaron.
Mhm.
If it's accomplishments and Super Bowls and winning and all the records he set, it's got to be Tom. Man, trying to think.
Yeah, because
All time favorite athlete ever was Kobe Bryant. Probably second would be Carson Palmer. And I was Carson's ball boy and water boy when he was in high school.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah, like Carson was like my dog. So Coach Carroll had to make this highlight tape of plays that Carson ran and plays that I ran when I filled in for John David Booty for 3 games moving into the next year, because I would only go in the office and watch Carson tape. I would watch all old film of him and Norm Chow and
Norm Chow.
all these guys.
Yeah.
big time West Coast offense.
Yeah.
Ernie
Yeah.
Kelly, freaking Mike Williams, like all these guys, right? So Pete had to make this like 15 play clip, and it went Carson play, my play, Carson play, my play, and they're almost identical plays because we're running the same offense. So it's like, play action to the left, boot out to the right, throw the deep, come back on the run. Boom, Carson does it, I do it. And so after the matchup or after the mashup of the tape, Coach Carroll's like, "What'd you see?" And I said, "Carson's awesome." And he goes, "All right, every play we put in there, like, look," and he showed me the description of all the plays. He's like, "You did exactly what Carson did. I need you to be our quarterback. I need you to be Mark Sanchez, not Mark Sanchez trying to be Carson Palmer. Take Carson off the pedestal, and I need you to be yourself and be our starter, because you're going to be our starter this year." And that's kind of how he told me. Like, that was, and I was like, damn. So, like, that is how I resonate with, or how Coach Carroll resonates with
Yeah,
me. Like,
for
I'll
sure.
never forget that, of him making me and go, I had to get through something to get where I wanted to go. And he knew part of that was taking Carson down while respecting him, of course. But so, yeah, that kind of encompasses two of those guys that I love.
I think it's really cool how sometimes not all people have like this this confidence to where we still need to be told we can do it, that we can achieve it, that it's okay
100%.
to believe in yourself and
100%.
that you got it all. We just need you to go do it. So that's really special, man. Appreciate you sharing all your stories, Mark, man. It's been a blessing, man. Thank you, bro.
Thank you guys. We're going to hang out more. You guys are in SoCal,
I'm with
man.
it.
Come on.
I'm with it. We ain't doing nothing tonight. I need to go to Dana Point. I used to live
Let's
in Carlsbad.
go.
So, yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, man.
I'm just trying to golf.
Appreciate it.
I'm just trying to golf. Who am I kidding?
We're going to get 3 holes for you, boss.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna get 3 or 4 holes for you. We're going to get a round of golf at the hotel.
Thanks, man.
Hey, I'm Peanut Tillman. This is Roman. That's Mark. And this is the NFL Players Second Ass Podcast, and we out.
And also, I know we're out, but I want to thank our listeners, as always, because they're the ones that make all this thing go. And so thank you, guys. Continue to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Wherever you listen or pick up your podcast at, whether it's Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio, please continue to tune in and follow us. Click follow, give us a review. Let's do this thing. Appreciate it. We're out.
100 Dalmatians, we out.